Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the book reading session of Autobiography of a Yogi. I think this has been quite a long week since I last posted the video of chapter 11. So today we'll be covering chapter 12 of Autobiography of a Yogi. I hope you're finding this session fruitful for your lives, for your spiritual life, as well as this book reading session is bringing energy changes, energy shifts in your life, as well as it is helping you grow. So let's begin chapter 12 of Autobiography of a Yogi. Yes, chapter 12, Years in My Master's Hermitage. So in chapter 11, as we recall, his teacher Master Yukteswar Giriji said you come back to your home, and after 4 weeks of time you come back to my place, and from there we'll start your means your training, you can say, as a disciple. And he also said he's a very strict teacher, um, so you have to be a disciplined student. So he wanted to come with his friend. His friend name was I think later on his friend said that he won't be able to come. He's going back to his home. So he has to go alone to his guru, Jitendra. Yes, his friend name was Jitendra. Okay. You have come. Sri Yukteswar greeted me from a tiger skin on the floor of balcony sitting room. His voice was cold, his manner unemotional. Yes, dear master, I am here to follow you. Kneeling, I touched his feet. How can that be? You ignore my wishes. No longer, Guruji. Your wish shall be my law. That is better. Now I can assume responsibility of your life. I willingly transfer the burden, master. So now there's a conversation taking place between Guruji and Yukteswarji. So he's saying, what I said, you did not ignore my wish. He said, no, your wish is my law. So he said, yes, now I can assume responsibility of your life. So he's taking the responsibility of his disciples' life. So it is often said also, like, once you find your guru, your life is not your life, it is his life. So whatever will happen in your life, it is under the monitoring of your guru. I willingly transfer the burden, master. My first request then is that you return home to your family. I want you to enter college in Calcutta. Your education should be continued. So all these chapters since childhood, we are seeing that he is in his quest to find his spiritual guru, and all his activities related to spirituality. He want to attain nirvana, he want to get illuminated. But now when he actually met his guru, he thought something will happen in his life. So what his guru said, you return to your home, to your family, go to college, and your education shall be continued. Very well, sir. I hid my consternation. Would importunate books pursue me down the years? First father, now Sri Yukteswar. So he's now again, he's kind of disappointed. Like earlier, his father used to say, you should finish your studies. And now his Guruji is saying, someday you will go to West. Someday you will go to the West. Its people will lend ears more receptive to India's ancient wisdom if the strange Hindu teacher has a university degree. So his teacher, as most of the spiritual guru have this, you can say, power to see the future of the disciple. So he told that someday you will be going to the West, and there they are more receptive. They would hear you more if you are educated. If a Hindu teacher has a university degree. You know best, Guruji, my gloom departed. The reference to the West I found puzzling remote, but my opportunity to please Master by obedience was vitally immediate. You will be near in Calcutta. Come here whenever you find time. Every day, if possible, Master. Gratefully, I accept your authority, every detail of my life on one condition. Yes, that you promise to reveal God to me. An hour long verbal tussle ensued. A master's word cannot be falsified. It is not lightly given. The implication in the pledge open out vast metaphysical vistas. A guru must be on intimate terms indeed with the creator before he can obligate him to appear. I sensed Sri Yukteswar's divine unity and was determined as his disciple to press my advantage. You are of exacting disposition. Then Master's consent rang out with compassionate finality. Let your wish be my wish, lifelong shadow lifted from my heart. The vague search hither and yon was over. I had found eternal shelter in a true Guru. So they were having conversation like as long as he's in Calcutta, he can come visit him. And he said, if possible, he can visit him daily. Then he said, only on one condition that you promise to reveal God to me. So he said, now everything is under his like supervision. Lifelong shadow lifted from my heart, the vague search hither and yon was over. I had found eternal shelter in a true good. Come, I will show you the hermitage. Master rose from his tiger mat. I glanced about me. My gaze fell with astonishment on a wall picture garland with a spray of jasmine. Lahari Mahasya. Yes, my divine Guru, Sri Yukteswar's stone was reverently vibrant. Greater he was as a man and yogi than any other teacher whose life came within the range of my investigations. So we all know Sri Yukteswar ji's teacher was Lahari Masya. So he's saying that he was greater he was as man and yogi than any other teacher whose life came within the range of my investigation. Silently, I bowed before the familiar picture, sold homage, except to the peerless master who blessing my infancy, had guided my steps to this hour. Led by my guru, I strolled over the house and its ground, large, ancient, well built. The hermitage was surrounded by a massive pillared courtyard. Outer walls were moss covered, pigeons fluttered over the flat grey roof, unceremoniously sharing the ashram quarters. A rare garden was pleasant with jackfruit, mango, and plantain trees. Balustraded balconies of upper rooms in the two-storied building face the courtyard from three sides. A spacious ground floor hall with high ceiling supported by colonnades was used, Master said, chiefly during the annual festivals of Durga Puja. A narrow stairway led to Sri Yukteswar sitting room, whose small balcony overlooked the street. The ashram was plainly furnished. Everything was simple, clean, and utilitarian. Several Western styled chairs, benches, and tables were in evidence. So, he's talking about this place. There was this large ancient building surrounded by pillars, and there were so many trees, plants, and over here, Master said, chiefly during annual festives of Durga Puja, a narrow stairway led to Yukteswar's sitting room, whose small balcony overlooked the street. The ashram was plainly furnished. Plainly furnished means it was not that lavish. Everything was simple, clean, and utilitarian. Several Western style chair, benches, and tables were in evidence. Till today, I can say that ashrams of Yukteswar ji and Paramahansa Yogananda ji, it is very simple and plain. Means there's not much furnishing interiors done. As you go to Calcutta, you might see some glimpse over there also, and the ashram in Ranchi as well. Because I have seen both the ashrams in Calcutta as well as in Ranchi. It is very simple, like how you see in Rabindranath Tagore's stories. It is like that. Master invited me to stay overnight. A supper of vegetable curry was served by two young disciples who were receiving hermitage training. Guruji, please tell me something of your life. I squatted on a straw mat near his tiger skin. The friendly stars were very close, it seemed, beyond balcony. My family name was Priya Nath Karar. I was born here in Serampur, where father was a wealthy businessman. He left me this ancestral mansion, now my hermitage. My formal schooling was little. I found it slow and shallow. In early manhood, I undertook the responsibilities of a householder and have one daughter, now married. My middle life was blessed with the guidance of Lehri Masya. After my wife died, I joined Swami Order and received the new name Sri Yukteswar Giri. Such are my simple acts. So over here, he's saying that his before becoming guru, his name was Priya Nath Karar. He was born in Serampur. His father left this um, big house. He was a wealthy businessman, and this ancestral mansion, now which he has converted to hermitage. So he has one daughter. Now she's married, and after the wife died, he joined Swami Ordar and received the Sri Yukteswar Giri name. He got that, and yes, he was his middle life was blessed with the guidance of Lehri Masya. Master smiled at my eager face, like all biographical sketches. His words had given the outward facts without revealing the inner man. So, usually, you might have seen till now, like, I think this is the third time I'm studying this book. So, earlier it did not came to my notice. Now I am seeing that since the beginning of the chapters of the journey of Paramahansa Yogananda, when he was small, when he was in his teenage, when he's in 20s, he always had this, curiosity, like something miraculous, something wow factor will be everywhere. And when he does not get that wow factor, he tries to question things. Like over here, how Yukteswar Giri said that his life was very simple. So now again, you see in his mind, it was like these are outward facts without revealing the inner fact. He had that thing that something is there inside him and which he's not revealing. Guruji, I would like to hear some stories of your childhood. Now, see again his curiosity, like he want to know how means something what we get supernatural. So, Guruji, I would like to hear some stories of your childhood. I will tell you a few, each one with a moral. Sri Yukteswar's eye twinkled with his warning. My mother once tried to frighten me with an appalling story of ghost in a dark chamber. I went there immediately and expressed my disappointment at having missed the ghost. Mother never told me another horror tale. Moral: look fear in the face and it will cease to trouble. So, seeing that, reading the story, I also know that we are often said, like we have heard these lines, like once you face your fears, the fear disappears. So the greatest way to escape your fears is to face it. So over here, he's telling that I'll tell each and every story with the moral. So he said, his mother used to say, like, there's in this dark chamber, there's ghost. So immediately he went and saw his saying, where's the ghost? So next time the mother did not told any story to him. So basically, it is telling like, look fear in the face and will cease to trouble you. Like often at times, no, we create fear. Actually, it's not fearful. We create fear, thinking like worry, being anxious, being restless, like what will happen. We start doing calculation, overthinking. So all those things. So basically, if you want to overcome fear, you just need to face it. So next, another early memory in my wish of an ugly dog belonging to a neighbor. I kept my household in turmoil for weeks to get that dog. My ears were deaf to offer of pets with more prepossessing appearance. Moral: attachment is blinding. It lends an imaginary halo of attractiveness to the object of desire. Like now, I'm reading this chapter. I'm feeling like I have not I have not read these things the last two times I have studied this book. Every time you find something new because your energies have shifted. So he's saying another memory was that this ugly dog was belonging to a neighbor. I kept my household in turmoil for weeks to get that dog. My ears were deaf to offer of pets with more preposing appearance. Moral: attachment is blinding. It lends an imaginary halo of attractiveness to the object of desire. So, very often when we are attached to something, for example, too much attachment to money, it often leads to blinding of things that you already have in your life. So whenever you get too attached to anything, it will cause you pain. So it is telling that attachment is blinding. It lends an imaginary halo of attractiveness to the object of desire. Usually, attachment is more to object related things, materialistic things. And when it leads to human attachment, then it is very painful. The third story. So, these two stories we have seen. Now, the third story. A third story concerns the plasticity of the youthful mind. I heard my mother remark occasionally, a man who accepts a job under anyone is a slave. That impression became so indelibly fixed that even after my marriage, I refused all position. I met expenses by investing my family endowments in land. Moral: good and positive suggestions should instruct the sensitive ears of child. Their early ideas long remain sharply edged. When he was young, his mother used to say that any job, if you accept any job, you are a slave. You become a slave. So it was so much fixated in his mind that even after marriage, he refused all possession. So usually after marriage, responsibilities come. So you need to pay those things. You need money. So he said, I made expenses by investing my family endowment in lands. Moral: good and positive suggestion should instruct the sensitive ears of children. Their early ideas long remain sharply edged. In short, whenever good and positive suggestions are given, it should be seen like at what time you're giving it to the child. Like when the child is very small, if something is fixed in his mind, it will remain lifelong to the in that child's mind. So one should be very careful with the suggestions or whatever you speak in front of children. Master fell into tranquil silence. Around midnight, he led me to a narrow cot. Sleep was sound and sweet, the first night under my Guru's roof. Sri Yukteswar chose the following morning to grant me his Kriya Yoga initiation. The technique I had already received from two disciples of Lahari Mahasya, father, and my tutor, Sri Swami Kebal Ananda, but in Master's presence, I felt transforming power. At his touch, a great light broke upon my being like a glory of countless sun blazing together. A flood of ineffable bliss, overwhelming my heart to an innermost core, continued during the following days. It was late that afternoon before I could bring myself to leave the hermitage. So, Kriya Yoga initiation he got from two disciples of Lahari Masya, one father, one his father, and then his tutor Swami Keval Anandaji. But when he got that thing from Sri Yukteswar ji, it was like he felt this bright light broke upon him, and it brought a change in him. You will return in 30 days. As I reached my Calcutta home, the fulfillment of Master's prediction entered with me. None of my relatives made the pointed remarks I had feared about the reappearance of soaring birds. I climbed to my attic and bestowed affectionate glances as though a living presence. You have witnessed my meditation and the tears and storms of my sadhana. Now I have reached the harbor of my divine teacher. Son, I am happy for us both. Father and I sat together in the evening calm. You have found your Guru, as in miraculous fashion I once found my own. The holy hand of Lahari Mahasya is guarding our lives. Your master has proved no inaccessible Himalayan saints, but one nearby. My prayers have been answered. You have not, in your search for God, been permanently removed from my sight. So now, as Yukteswar ji told, like you go back to your home and then you finish your studies. So over here, he went back, he talked to his father, and he said, like, I found my guru. So his father was very happy. He said, like, in a very miraculous way, you have found your guru, as I found mine, which was Lahari Masya, and your master has proved no inaccessible Himalayan saints, but one nearby. Usually, in earlier chapter, we have seen like every time he wanted to go to Himalayas to find his guru. So over here, he's saying like you don't need to go to Himalaya, your guru is nearby. Father was also pleased that my formal studies would be resumed. He made suitable arrangements. I was enrolled the following days at the Scottish Church College in Calcutta. Happy months sped by. My readers have doubtless made the perspicacious surmise that I was little seen in the college classroom. The Serampur Hermitage held a lure too irresistible. Master accepted my ubiquitous presence without comment. To my relief, he seldom referred to the halls of learning, though it was plain to all that I was never cut out of for a scholar. I managed to attain minimum passing grades from time to time. So his father was also very happy that he has resumed his studies and he's going to college, and he managed to attain the minimum passing grades from time to time. Daily life at the ashram flowed smoothly, infrequently varied. My guru awoke before lying down, or sometimes sitting on bed. He entered a state of samadhi. It was simplicity itself to discover when Master had awakened. Abrupt halt to stupendous snorts, a sigh or two, perhaps a bodily movement. then a soundless state of breathlessness. He was in deep yogic joy. Breakfast did not follow. First came a long walk by the Ganges, the morning strolls with my guru, how real and vivid still. In the easy resurrection of memory, I often find myself by his side. The early sun is warming the river. His voice rings out, rich with authenticity of wisdom. A bath, then the midday meal, its preparation according to Master's daily direction had been the careful task of young disciples. My guru was vegetarian. Before embracing monkhood, however, he had eaten egg and fish. He advises students to follow any simple diet which proved suited to one's constitution. So over here, he's telling how his day would be at Guruji's ashram, what food was cooked, and he said before entering to monkhood, his teacher would eat egg and fish, but later on he became vegetarian. And he told his students like have a simple diet. Usually, once you are into energy, meditations, healings, so it is food affects a lot of your energy. The more you can say, the more organic food you eat, the more energy is built. If you eat a lot of spicy or oily food, your energy level goes down. It becomes sluggish. Master ate little, often rice colored with turmeric or juice of beets, or spinach and lightly sprinkled with buffalo ghee or melted butter. Another day he might have lentils, dal, or chana curry with vegetables. For dessert, mangoes or oranges with pudding or jackfruit juice. Visitors appeared in the afternoons. A steady stream poured from the world into the hermitage. Tranquility. Everyone found in masters an equal courtesy and kindness. To a man who has realized himself as soul, not the body or the ego, rest humanity assumes a striking similarity of aspect. The impartiality of saints is rooted in wisdom. Masters have escaped Maya, its altering phases of intellect and idiocy no longer cast an influence glance. Sri Yukteswar showed no special consideration to those who happened to be powerful or accomplished. Neither did he slight other for their poverty or illiteracy. He would listen respectfully to the words of truth from a child and openly ignore a conceited pandit. So he's saying like when he sees his teacher Sri Yukteswarji, he has realized himself as a soul, and he is not thinking about himself like a body, or he's thinking from his ego. And he has equal respect, if a child is saying a truth, he knows how to handle innocent things and cruel things, idiot, stupid conversations, or deceiving things. So he's saying that he's a perfect balance. So this is the picture of Sri Yukteswar Giri. 8 o'clock was the supper hour. Sometimes found a lingering guest. My guru would not excuse himself to eat alone. None left his ashram hungry or dissatisfied. Sri Yukteswar was never at loss, never dismayed by unexpected visitors. Scanty food would emerge a banquet under his resourceful direction. Yet he was economical, his modest funds went far. Be comfortable within your purse, he said, often said. Extravagance will buy you discomfort. Whether in the details of Hermitage entertainment or his buildings and repair work or other practical concern, Master manifested the originality of creative spirit. So over here, he is talking about money, how to handle money. You should be comfortable with your purse, means you should have ample amount of money. And extravagance will buy you discomfort. The more luxuries you want, the more unnecessary things you want, it will always buy you discomfort. How it will buy you discomfort? Because you're losing your money. Quiet evening hours often brought one by my guru's discourses, treasures against time. His every utterance was measured and chiseled by wisdom. A sublime self assurance marked his mode of expression. It was unique. He spoke as none other in my experience ever spoke. His thoughts were weighed in a delicate balance of discrimination before he permitted them an outward guard, the essence of truth, all pervasive, with even a physiological aspect, came from him like a fragrant exudation of the soul. I was conscious always that I was in presence of living manifestation of God. The weight of his divinity automatically bowed my head before him. If late guests detected that Sri Yukteswar was becoming engrossed with the infinite, he quickly engaged them in conversation. He was incapable of striking a pose or flaunting his inner withdrawal. Always one with the Lord, he needed no separate time for communion. A self realized master was already left behind the stepping stone of meditation. The flower falls when the fruit appears, but saints often cling to spiritual form for encouragement of disciples. So over here he's saying that his communion with the God was like that. He did not needed a separate time for meditation. Means he was always in communication with God. He was one with God. As midnight approached, my guru might fall into a doze with a naturalness of a child. There was no fuss about bedding. He often lay down without a pillow, even without a pillow, or a narrow Devon coat, which was the background for his customary tiger skin seat. A night long philosophical discussion was not rare. Any disciple could summon it by intensity of interest. I felt no tiredness, then no desire for sleep. Master's living words were sufficient. Oh, it is dawn. Let us walk by the Ganges. So ended many of my periods of nocturnal edification. My early months with Sri Yukteswar culminated in a useful lesson how to outwit a mosquito. At home, my family always used protective curtains at night. I was dismayed to discover that in Serampur Hermitage, this prudent custom was honored in the breach, yet the insects were in full residency. I was bitten from head to foot. My guru took pity on me. Buy yourself a curtain and also one for me. He laughed and added, if you buy only one, for yourself, all mosquitoes will concentrate. So over here, he's saying that his hermitage was in open. There were many plants and trees. There were a lot of insects. So he was bitten from head to toe with the insects. So Guruji said, like, you buy one curtain for yourself, mosquito net, and one for me. I was more than thankful to comply. Every night I spent in Serampur, my guru would ask me to arrange the bedtime curtains. So he was studying, and every night he used to go to Serampur and spend his night over there. The mosquitoes one evening were specially virulent, but master failed to issue his usual instruction. I listened nervously to the anticipatory hum of the insects. Getting into bed, I threw a propitiatory prayer in their general direction. A half hour later, I coughed pretentiously to attract my guru's attention. I thought I would go mad with the bites and especially the singing drone as mosquitoes celebrated bloodthirsty rites. No response stir from master. I approached him cautiously. He was not breathing. This was my first observation of him in the yogic trance. It filled me with fright. His heart must have failed. I placed a mirror under his nose. No breath vapor appeared. To make doubly certain for minutes, I closed his mouth and nostril with my finger. His body was cold and motionless. In a daze, I turned towards the door to summon help. So, a budding experimentalist, my poor nose, master's voice was shaky with laughter. Why don't you go to bed? Is the whole world going to change for you? Change yourself. Be rid of mosquitoes consciously. So, there one day there was too many mosquitoes, and he he wanted to catch his master's attention, so he coughed very loudly so that the teacher would see him, but he did not see him. So he went to the teacher, and when he saw he's very still, so he was like whether he's breathing or not. He put a mirror under his nose, and then he saw there were no vapor finding, so he closed his nose and mouth. And then the teacher laughed and he said, "Why don't you go to your bed? Like, change, if you want to change anything, you need to change yourself. If you want to be rid of the mosquitoes, be consciously be rid." Neatly, I returned to my bed. Not one insect ventured near. I realized that my guru had previously agreed to the curtains only to please me. He had no fear of mosquitoes. His yogic power was such that he either could will them not to bite or could escape to an inner invulnerability. He was giving me a demonstration. I thought that is the yogic state I must strive to attain. A yogi must be able to pass into and continue in the superconsciousness regardless of multitudinous distraction, never absent from this earth, whether in the buzz of insects or the pervasive glare of daylight. The testimony of senses must be bared. Sound and sight come then indeed, but to words fairer than their than the banished Eden. The instructive mosquito served for another early lesson at the ashram. It was gentle hour of dusk. My guru was matchlessly interpreting the ancient text at his feet. I was in perfect peace. A rude mosquito entered the idyll and competed for my attention. As it dug a poisonous hypodermic needle into my thigh, I automatically raised an avenging hand. Reprieving from impending execution, an opportune memory came to me of one of Patanjali Yoga, of apophysis that on ahimsa. Why didn't you finish the job, Master? Do you advocate taking life? No, but the death blow already had been struck in your mind. I don't understand. Patanjali's meaning was the removal of the desire to kill. Sri Yukteswar had found my mental process an open book. So he was about to, beat the mosquito, but in his mind, it came, a thought of Patanjali came of ahimsa. So then the guru said, like, why didn't you finish the job? He said, why are you advocating to take life? So he's saying, Patanjali told to remove the desire to kill. And then he's saying, it was like he's reading his mind. This world is inconveniently arranged for a literal practice of ahimsa. Man may be compelled to exterminate harmful creatures. He is not under similar compulsion to feel anger or animosity. All forms of life have equal right to the air of mind. The saints who uncover the secret of creation will be in harmony with its countless bewildering expression. All men may approach that understanding who curb the inner passion of destruction. Guruji should not offer himself a sacrifice rather than kill a wild beast. This chapter is quite long. Okay, so we will pause over here, page 91. Yes. So we'll pause chapter 12 over here, and part 2 of chapter 2 will be uploaded very soon. So it was a nice, interesting chapter, and quite, you can say there were many messages in this chapter. So yes, thank you everyone for watching the videos, and I hope you're liking the book study session, and please share the videos whom you think it will find helpful, whom this book reading session will be helpful, so that they can have the taste of spiritual journey. So yes, thank you everyone for joining this session.